Welcome to the course preview videos for the 2023 Las Vegas Challenge presented by Innova Champion Discs. Right now we're going to be looking at course Millennium to see the changes and the course layout to get you prepared for this amazing event. Let's get to it. Hole 1 on course Millennium is a 390-foot par 3 that plays slightly downhill. The danger's right off the tee with all these pine trees. You want to avoid these at all costs. If you can throw out to the right, challenge the OB line with something fairly stable, it's going to hyzer right to the basket. Now this green is faster than you expect, so you want to land about 40 feet short of the pin to skip up to the basket. If you land under the basket, you're going to run anywhere from 40 to 60 feet long, leaving you a challenging putt for birdie. Hole 2 on course Millennium is a 649-foot par 4 for the men and par 5 for the women. This hole is exactly the same as last year. There's OB running all along the right-hand side. You're going to want to stay inside of the big tree here to the right. Good drive's going to land you here. From this point, you can go up and over either way to land on this protected green. There's lots of trees here, so a spike hyzer is the best way to access this, but don't go too far. There's OB just outside the circle down a hill behind the basket. This is a tough hole for both the men and the women's fields. Good luck getting a birdie here. Hole 3 on course Millennium is a 359-foot par 3. The tee pad sits lower than the ground, so the first thing you need to do is get up and over that hill so you can access the green. There's OB on the left and the right in rope lines and spectator paths. This basket sits behind a palm tree, and the cart path that you see right now is inbounds, so nothing to worry about there. Just hyzer either way, left or right, crash this pin will get you a birdie. A low skip shot will do the same thing as well, but the low shot brings that hill into play right off the tee. Hole 4 on course Millennium is a 300-foot par 3 with danger everywhere. First thing you need to do off the drive is get across this OB green. Now there are hazard sand traps, but the main danger is the sand trap that you can't see until you get right about here. You'll see it just past the green in front of the basket. Now if you can clear this and land on that hill, you're gonna have a putt for birdie, but don't carry too far. The basket sits on a hill. If you miss it at all, you'll roll 20 to 40 feet away from the basket, leaving you an impossible putt for a birdie or even to save par. Hole 5 on course Millennium is a 470-foot par 3 for the men, but a par 4 for the women. Now off the tee you have to decide, are you going for it or are you laying up? If you lay up in front of the green, chip across, take your par or birdie. It was one of the easier holes for the women, so it's a must get. If you're going for it, don't go too far. Right behind the basket is a hill that slopes away downhill towards OB, and if you do roll down that hill, chances are it'll cost you a stroke. So make sure that your distance control is on point. You need to get across the green, and it'll take about 420 feet of distance to get there. Good luck on this one. Hole 6 on course Millennium is a 759-foot par 4 for our men, but a par 5 for the women. Now there's danger all along the left-hand side. That cart path and beyond is OB, so don't hyzer out early, it's going to cost you a stroke. A good drive's going to land just past this gully, and you'll have a wide open shot at the basket. Too far right, you'll be amongst those trees, and it's going to be a hard time saving par, but getting a birdie is pretty much out of the picture. Throw your next upshot, slide underneath this pine tree, up the hill right next to the basket, and you can tap in for a birdie. Good luck. Hole 7 on course Millennium is a brand new hole this year. This 315-foot par 3 has a low ceiling off the tee that's going to keep your shots low and straight. There's a hyzer line on the right-hand side between the pine trees and the palms. That'll get you all the way to the basket. And the left-hand hyzer that goes out over the grass is an option as well. However, the OB line runs between the grass and the dirt, and the OB gets narrower and narrower as you get down towards the basket. Hopefully a good straight shot with very little fade will get all the way to the basket, leaving you inside the circle for a birdie putt. Good luck on this new hole. It's a technical shot that's not necessarily seen out here at the Las Vegas Challenge. Hole 8 on course Millennium is a 402-foot downhill par 3. Now the main danger here is the green that sits right in front of the basket. If you can skip off this OB green and slide it to the basket, you're in good shape for a birdie. But don't go too far or hyzer out to the left because the cart path and beyond is OB. Distance control is critical because if you slide down the hill, chances are you're going to roll out of bounds. Get just past the green and you'll get a good chance at a birdie. This is a tough hole. Hole 9 on course Millennium is a 417-foot par 3 that's had the green redesigned this year. Now this does play as a quasi-island. It is a true risk-reward hole. Now you can lay it up out in this area here, pitch over and take your par, or you can go for it. However, this rock line that comes along off the water plays as OB. Don't go too far, there's an OB line behind the basket as well. Again, risk-reward. Lay up, take an easy par, or go for it, possibly get a birdie, but also possibly get a bogey. Good luck on this one. This will play much more difficult this year. Hole 10 on course Millennium is a 388-foot par 3, which is straightforward. Hyzer with your left hand or right hand is going to get you close to the basket. However, the water that you can see coming into frame right about now is the challenge. To get close, you're going to have to challenge that OB. Right hand backhand is going to have to throw it over the water, hopefully impact next to the basket and stay there. Left hand backhand is going to have to get your distance control down so you don't slide into the water on the backside. This is a good birdie. Hole 11 is a 635-foot par 4 for our men and a par 5 for the women. Off the tee, you need to get across the cart path to be in bounds. Your first shot should land somewhere just before the green. This is going to give you an access point to go right through these two trees, hyzer into the basket. There's also a backdoor route on the left-hand side, but it's lower and more technical. If you can pure this gap, get a hyzer skip just behind this pine tree, you're going to end up at a good look for a birdie. This is a tough par 4, lots of danger everywhere. Next up on course Millennium is hole 12, our 1,000-foot par 5. A good drive is going to get you out in the grass. Just to reach the grass is 300 feet. You're going to want to be to the left, but not too far because that cart path and beyond on the left-hand side is OB. This is going to get you in line for a big turnover shot or even a roller. If the roller can get up past this pine tree that's coming up on your right-hand side, you can curl around to the basket and get a look at an eagle. It's rare, but it happens. Again, if you can get to that pine tree on your second shot, you're at least going to get a birdie. But this one plays well over par. Good luck. Hole 13 on course Millennium is a 383-foot par 3 for the men and a par 4 for the women. Now, off the tee, you're throwing directly uphill, steeper than it looks. Main danger for the men is ending up in the sand trap that is just in front of the basket. That's going to get you a hazard stroke. Don't hyzer out on the green either. That's OB. Either lay up in front of the sand trap, pitch over and take your par, or try to get there. It's a good pull, and the hyzer will pull you into the OB hazard. Good luck. Course Millennium hole 14 is a 465-foot hole that's a par 3 for our men and a par 4 for the women. Now this basket has been moved from last year. It's been moved back about 25 feet on top of a hill. It used to be in a small collection bowl that made upshots very easy. It's going to be a little more challenging this year. If you're too far to the right and you're putting at this basket on a mound, any air balls are going to miss, go onto the green, and cost you an OB stroke. Best bet is to lay up in front of the green, pitch it up, and take the easy par. It's your choice though, go for it or lay up. It's a tough hole. Hopefully we'll see some birdies this year. Course Millennium hole 15 is a 337-foot downhill par 3. Now this is a very tricky shot. You cannot see the basket off the tee, and cart path and beyond on the right-hand side is OB. You're going to want to throw a hyzer out, challenging this OB and falling in before the rock wall, because rock wall and beyond is OB. There's also a rope line far on the left-hand side. It shouldn't come into play except for really sawed-off shots. Again, very touchy. Fairway driver or mid will get you down and a look at a birdie. Hole 16 on course Millennium is a 693-foot par 4 for the men and a par 5 for our women. This elevated tee position is going to trick you. You're going to want to throw a turnover shot. Don't hyzer out left because that cart path and beyond is OB. You're going to want to land right here, somewhere by this sand trap. This is going to give you a good line for your upshot to the basket. Now this OB green doesn't come into play except if you short the drive. So if you throw your upshot, make sure you get to the basket, but don't go too far, because behind the basket's a slope that goes all the way down to the fence a good 40 feet away. That's going to leave a tricky shot to save par or your bogey. Hole 17 on course Millennium is our triple Mando hole. You got to throw through this arch on this 322-foot par 3 and navigate these low-hanging branches. The gap here is to turn something over with the forehand or left-hand backhand, flex out, and hyzer out toward the basket. There is a low rock wall coming up in your sight right here. It is about 2 feet high, so anything low is going to be impacting that wall and stopping you from getting a birdie look. Get all the way to the basket and get this birdie. It's an important one. Hole 18 on course Millennium is brand new this year and has been redesigned. In the past it was a par 4. Now it's going to be a par 3 coming in at 402 feet. You start off with this tunnel shot uphill. 402 feet plays more like 450. You got to carry this OB green to get to the basket. Don't hyzer out early. You will go in that hazard sand trap to the left. Hit the bottom of the hill and slide up top to get your birdie. If you're short, any putt missed most likely will go out of bounds. That's 25 feet right behind the basket. And the gallery will be standing there watching all these putts come in. Good luck.